What's up guys? Hiya! I wanted to make a quick video about my thoughts on the DC fandom that happened over the weekend. I don't really talk about DC too often on my channel, but if you follow my Instagram and kind of Twitter and social medias and stuff, you'd know that I'm very into Batman and Harley Quinn and the Joker and all kind of the main normie bits, but I can't help it. It's just the way I am. So I wanted to make a quick video talking about what I thought of all the things that got revealed over the weekend at the online event that was titled DC Fandome, where basically all the upcoming DC franchises that are getting revealed got kind of like trailers and behind the scene photos and stuff like that, depending on how far ahead they are in production. So yes, let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is the Suicide Squad behind the scenes clip. I was about to say trailer, but it's not exactly a trailer. There's a character roll call and then there's a behind the scenes trailer showing little bits and pieces from the movie, but it's not exactly a full-length trailer yet. To give a little background, when the first Suicide Squad trailer came out in 2015 at a Comic-Con, I was 100% there for it. It looked gritty, it looked dark, it looked like it was going to be, well, very DC-esque and very interesting. But then the whole tonal shift happened where Guardians of the Galaxy was popular because of the music and the jokes and things like that. And Warner Brothers told David Ayer or whoever it was that was in charge of the Suicide Squad, okay, change it all up. We want Guardians of the Galaxy except the Suicide Squad. So that's how that's my theory on why the 2016 movie got really bad, because I don't know if anyone actually remembers the really dark trailer that was released in 2015, but it got me so hyped. I was so excited. And then when the second trailer came out and it was all bright colours and excitement and non-fitting music and jokes and stuff like that, it suddenly felt like the first trailer was a lie. And I don't even know if that trailer from Comic-Con even gets counted as a trailer now, because it's so different. But that's my theory on how the 2016 movie got ruined, and I think that's how a lot of people perceive it, because David Ayer, the director, really wants to have his own cut of the film the same way Zack Snyder is getting a cut of the Justice League. So he claims that there's a lot of stuff that was cut out, a lot of things that were changed, and the tone was completely shifted because Warner Brothers said that they wanted Guardians of the Galaxy but for the Suicide Squad. So that is why I think the 2016 Suicide Squad movie bombed, but I was still very much into it because I love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, and I have no qualms. I know the movies are terrible, but guilty pleasure of mine, can't help it. But now James Gunn is directing it, which is kind of interesting because as far as I know, James Gunn was in charge of Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's like Warner Brothers thought, okay, it didn't work trying to replicate Guardians of the Galaxy, so why don't we get the guy who wrote Guardians of the Galaxy or was in charge of Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm not sure. Let's get him in to do it instead. So James Gunn has been working on the Suicide Squad. The one in 2016 is called Suicide Squad. This is the Suicide Squad. And the roll call video that got released, oh my god, there's so many characters. And as I say, I'm a normie. I only know like the main people like Joker, Batman, Harley Quinn, Riddler, Penguin, all them ones, Wonder Woman, Superman, Flash, all them ones. So I didn't recognise half of the people in this roll call video. But I'm really excited because I love getting introduced to new characters. I will 100% be open to knowing more about the DC universe and seeing more characters and villains coming into play, especially since Peter Capaldi is playing one of them. And again, if you watch my channel, you know I love Doctor Who. Even if Peter Capaldi's series was shite, he was still a great Doctor, so he's a great actor. I really enjoy him, and he's a great guy too, by what I've heard from stories of meet and greets and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him in the Suicide Squad movie. And it actually seems like a lot of characters are actually coming back from the first Suicide Squad movie, like Amanda Waller and Nick Flag. I thought that all of that would be like slated out. Like I thought Margot Robbie was the only one who was going to return as Harley Quinn. I didn't think that there was going to be anyone else coming back. So it's actually really nice to see that, because I really liked Amanda Waller. I really liked how she was like always composed, but like you could tell that she was a real bitch underneath. I just really like how that was portrayed portrayed even in the shite Suicide Squad movie. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them again. Of course, I'm looking forward to seeing Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. She's wearing black and red finally, even if it's not like the Harley Quinn suit that she is most known for. It is still red and black. She's still looking real great. And my gay heart was just like pounding in my chest. I loved it. I just 100% there for Harley Quinn, no matter what form she comes in. I love Birds of Prey, even though the reviews were shy. I still love it anyway. As I say, guilty pleasure, and I would probably see anything that Margot Robbie is in anyway. So, and I'm really interested to see what James Gunn is going to do with the Suicide Squad, because as I said, the first movie, where it fell down was that it was initially gritty and dark, and then someone in charge of Warner Brothers or whatever turned around and said, yep, just cut it up, make it look like Guardians of the Galaxy, this is what we need it to be, villains where it's funny and colourful and stuff. And it turned into a Hot Topic movie, and that is where it went wrong. So I think it's fascinating now that they actually got the person who was in charge of Guardians of the Galaxy in to do the Suicide Squad, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does with it and what his plans are, and just to see where it goes overall. Next thing I want to talk about is Robert Pattinson. When Robert Pattinson was announced as being Batman, I'm not going to be like one of those people who was like, oh, I knew that he'd be good from the start. I didn't have an opinion here or there about Robert Pattinson being Batman, because one of the very few things I've been introduced to Robert Pattinson, as most people are, is Twilight and Harry Potter. And obviously Twilight is Twilight, even Robert Pattinson hates Twilight, so I hear that his commentary on the movies is absolutely brilliant, like it's hilarious. So I need to check that out sometime. Even though most people's introduction to Robert Pattinson is those movies, I have heard amazing things about his acting in other things. He was in The Lighthouse, and he was in quite a few other films that were critically acclaimed. So as soon as I heard he was going to be Batman, I was like, okay, they obviously didn't hire him because of Twilight. So I'm gonna wait and see. And the same thing happened when Heath Ledger was hired as the Joker. Like, everyone was like, Heath Ledger, that old prick from 10 Things I Hate About You, what the fuck? And then look what happened. He's one of the best Jokers ever known, and he won an Oscar. So you keep an open mind and wait and see. And when this trailer came out, I am so pumped. For one thing, it's the Riddler that's going to be in this one, and I haven't seen the Riddler since Jim Carrey played him. So this is definitely going to be interesting, especially since it's going to be in a darker setting, and the Riddler isn't like in green with loads of question marks and stuff. And Robert Pattinson, or Robert Pattinson as people are calling him, you didn't see a lot of him. We didn't see a lot of anything because the movie isn't completely filmed yet. But from what you saw, I am so excited. I am pumped for this. Like, I try not to get too pumped because, as I said, the first trailer that came out for Suicide Squad 2016 gave a completely different picture of what the film was going to be. And it was only partially filmed at the time, so try not to get too pumped, but it is looking good at the minute. I like Robert Pattinson as Batman. I just hope that it doesn't fall on its face when the full film comes out, because that seems to be a theme. There was also a trailer for Justice League Snyder Cut, which I thought was very interesting. The amount of stuff that seems to have been cut out of that film is very interesting to me, because all the stuff in the trailer, it's like, wow, there's a lot of stuff here that like wasn't in the original film. But for anyone who doesn't know, during the filming of the Justice League, there was a tragedy in Zack Snyder's family, and I think that was the reason why he had to leave and someone else took over. Was it Joss Whedon? I think it might have been Joss Whedon who took over, and there's a lot of bad things coming out about Joss Whedon on that set, so people wanted to see what Zack Snyder's version would have been from the start, and this is what's getting released now. I think it's getting released on HBO TV. So Zack Snyder is getting to finally show his vision for what the Justice League was going to be now that it's been a few years and he was able to get over the tragedy that happened to his family. So I'm very curious to see what this is going to be like, and hopefully if Zack Snyder's cut does well, then David Ayer may get his cut of the first Suicide Squad movie, and we might get to see what it was supposed to be like as well. Which, again, I would be really interested in seeing, because again, first trailer, completely different from when it was cut up and changed. So quick word on Wonder Woman. I really loved the first Wonder Woman film, but ever since all the stuff on Wonder Woman 1984 came out, I haven't really been 100% like hyped for it. I haven't been as excited as I was for the first film. I love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I loved the first movie, but for some reason my hype and excitement just hasn't been there for Wonder Woman 1984. So like, I saw the trailer with Cheetah and everything, and it really didn't do a lot for me. I was just like, okay, I'll go and see it. So I didn't really have a lot to say on Wonder Woman, but I figured I would just insert this little bit in anyway. So that's my thoughts on Wonder Woman. Finally, last thing I want to talk about is Kill the Justice League. The trailer for the game Kill the Justice League came out, and again, so excited. I'm not like a major gamer. Like, the most I've played is Spyro, and the only game I've ever finished is Detroit Become Human. But I'm still very much interested in games. I watch playthroughs and I know a lot about particular games. So when I saw the trailer for Kill the Justice League, I was like, I have to play this. I'm really hoping it's coming out on, like, I don't know if it's announced on a console or if it's going to be a mobile game or whatever, but I'm 100% here for this game when it comes out because, one, Harley Quinn, obviously, and two, like, the different representations of the different Suicide Squad members that are in that game and their banter with each other, I was just in love with it from the start. And then Evil Superman. How can you not be here for Evil Superman? Obviously there's something possessing him or something like that, so... And I assume it's going to be possessing the rest of the Justice League as well, since the game was called Kill the Justice League. So, yeah, 100% here for that too. Who isn't? Well, there's probably plenty of people who aren't. I remember people in the comments going like, this looks terrible. It's like, I know I advocate for expressing your opinion, but what does this looks terrible really contribute to any kind of discussion towards improvement or anything, you know? Doesn't contribute anything. So thanks for that comment, you achieved nothing. Unless your achievement was expressing your negative opinion, then well done, you actually did that. So I could be wrong. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the DC fandom and the different bits and pieces that I'm excited for and that are relevant to my interests in DC Universe, and I can't wait to see what else is going to be coming out. There's going to be a second part of the DC fandom in September. Whether that's going to be releasing more stuff that's been already revealed or it's going to be different stuff, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it. And what are your thoughts? Is there anything that I haven't mentioned that you guys are excited for? Do you agree? Do you disagree with anything that I've said? Or do you have any opinions on Pattinson, on the Suicide Squad, on the game that's coming out, or even about Snyder's cut of Justice League? If you do, leave comments down below. I usually reply to everyone if I can. And I'll see you next time, guys.